What is good, my dudes and dudettes? It's your boy Big Tony back with the interview. We're here with the one and only Kevin Donald.
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good.
It's good. Thanks for coming. You want to just tell all the people all the different things you do on campus?
Sure. Yeah.
Give them a nice rundown.
So I'm the president of Scatterbomb, which is Manhattan's improv team.
Mm-hmm.
And we perform 6 shows a year or 6 shows a semester. I'm president of the jazz band, and I play in the small group jazz band. Do a lot with performing arts.
Nice.
And yeah, most recently I've been an e-board member for WRCM, which is the college radio station we're trying to reboot here.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Busy guy. All right, we'll get to all that stuff, but first we're going to start with a little warm-up game.
Sure.
You like games?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
I can play.
All right, so I'm just going to give you a list of comedians, and you could say the first thing that comes to your mind, or if you think they're funny or not, or
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, first guy, Kevin Hart.
Gotta say, don't really think he's funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's burnt out, man. He had his shtick, but
yeah.
I've seen enough movies with a tall guy and a very small guy with Kevin Hart in
And
them.
I feel like he's the small guy that's always angry. He's oh, what the
Yeah,
hell,
he's
man?
just an angry small man. I mean, that's more sad to me than
Yeah.
funny.
All right, Jerry Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, I love the show Seinfeld. Honestly, his stand-up isn't that funny, but, you can't beat Seinfeld. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best
great show. I feel like he's a pretty dry comedian. That's
yeah,
what you call it, right?
yeah, he's been around for 30 or so years, and I mean, he really does actually just say how about airplanes and stuff. That's his actual
People are
set.
dying
That's
laughing.
it's like a meme of what a comedian should
Yeah.
be. I don't know.
All right, Tina Fey.
Tina Fey, very funny lady.
She's very funny.
Great writer, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm glad 30 Rock was on. That gave it shined a light on the fact that to be a comedian you don't have to just be a stand-up.
Right.
You can do other stuff. So.
How about Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan, that guy's out there.
Very out there.
He's very interesting. Honestly, I haven't looked at a lot of his comedy stuff, but I've listened to his podcast a couple times, and
podcast.
there's some crazy stuff going on in there.
It's crazy too. He's always watching our videos and commenting how are you guys so good at podcasts?
Yeah.
You guys are so funny. And we give him a couple tips here and there.
Yeah, I can tell. You can tell.
How about Bo Burnham?
Bo Burnham's awesome.
I love Bo Burnham.
When I was in high school, I play piano and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very into Bo Burnham, and I came up with a little set that was maybe 10 minutes of me playing piano and singing,
That's awesome.
just roasting my friends in
Yeah.
school and stuff.
It's crazy. That's what he does. He sets up his shows, and it's also a musical performance at the same time. It's really cool.
It's super. There's nobody doing anything like that.
Exactly.
Really, so.
Yeah, he's cool. All right. And here's a little one or the other. Amy Schumer or Amy Poehler?
Polar, all the way.
Easy question.
Yeah, she's also the improv queen.
Yeah.
She started Upright Citizens Brigade, which is the improv theater in New York
awesome.
and LA. So
yeah, I don't think Amy Schumer's that funny.
no,
I think that's a common.
her and Kevin Hart kind of
They're in the same
they're
boat.
in the same boat together.
They should make a movie together. All right, and last but not least, the one and only Jim Carrey.
Oh, he's a hero.
Absolute legend.
Absolutely. He's in that Andy Kaufman movie recently. You know
Man
who
on
that
the
is?
Moon?
Man on the Moon, and then there's a movie
I don't
about
know.
him. That guy is just absolutely insane. I can't remember what the name of this documentary about him playing Andy Kaufman is, but it's just unreal. He's just out of his mind. He
That's cool.
is in the character the whole time.
Yeah. All right, on the topic of improv and all that and comedy, how did you start with Scatterbomb and how did you get into improv?
So my freshman year, my roommate was going to try out for the team, and I kind of just tagged along. I think maybe he got a little salty because I made it on the team and he didn't,
No.
which is kind of weird because he was very into it. He actually goes to NYU now, and he wants to do that for a living. He
really?
does improv and he writes sketches and stuff. But he didn't make it on the team, and I did. My RA at the time, freshman year, was actually the president, so he really kind of vouched for me.
Nice.
And yeah, I've been on it since my second week of school, it's kind of always just been my family. I mean, like, most of my really close friends I've met from Scatterbomb, even if they're not in Scatterbomb, they're people I met through going to the shows and hanging out after and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now you're the president, so
yeah,
things worked out.
Honestly, being the president of Scatterbomb doesn't really mean that much because it's such a small group. There's 8 of us right now, and I mean, there's never been more than 10 when I've been on the team. Everybody does a lot of work.
Yeah.
The president is really just kind of a formality.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you do a little bit more work and,
right.
like, you know, you get to go on podcasts and
yeah.
stuff. But
that's a good perk.
But really, like, there's not that much more responsibility. Everybody really works really hard.
Yeah.
So.
And here's, like, a weird thing, right? Like, improv isn't, like, rehearsed before, so you'd say you practice improv, right?
Yeah, I never call it rehearsal.
That's
practice.
not rehearsal.
Yeah,
so,
practice.
Like, what do you guys do for practice? How is, like, a normal practice session?
Even though it's improv and, you know, it's off the top of your head and everything, there is, like, a form to it and everything like that. So in a show, there are certain structures to how we decide what kind of scenes we're going to do, whether that be, like, a group scene with the whole team or a scene with 2 people. There is certain different forms that we practice and stuff like that. We've been without a coach for a couple of years, but we recently just got a new coach, Carolyn Egan, who was an alumni. She was here my freshman year on the team with me, and she's great. And she's just been, I mean, in addition to teaching us the forms and things like that, we also just, you know, play, like, little improv games and stuff. Like, there's one where, for example, like, I'll ask you a question and you have to respond to me with a question.
Do you want to?
We just go back and forth.
Should we try it out right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So, like, just ask me any question.
How are you?
Do I look like I'm having a good time?
You look like you're having a great time. Are you having a good time?
See, like, you answered the question now.
Oh, no.
You have to answer just with a question.
Okay.
Respond. It's really hard.
That was hard. Like, my first reaction was to just obviously answer.
It always ends up just being, like, really passive-aggressive because that's the only way to really answer a question with a question. But, you know, that's, like, just an example of, like, you know, things that kind of would, you know, maybe throw you off in a show. Like, we practice to be prepared for those things.
That's awesome.
Like that.
Do you have, like, a favorite, like, bit or, like, kind of thing that you do?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I've been known to, like, throw chairs and things like that. The crowd sometimes gets a little nervous, but I really have fun.
You throw the chairs at the crowd?
No. Well, last week I stepped on a chair and I dented it in half, which was, like, a pretty big moment for me because I've been throwing these chairs around for 4 years and they've taken a beating.
Yeah.
I broke a chair last week. I don't really know if that's a favorite bit. That's just kind of...
Well, that's what you're known for, I guess.
Excused
that's
violence. Cool. Yeah, I'm known for throwing chairs.
The chairs. All right, so watch out. If you're near Kevin during the show, watch out for flying chairs.
Sit a couple rows back, probably.
Yeah. All right, kind of like changing subjects now. You're trying to bring back the radio station, right? Which is pretty awesome. You want to talk about, like, that kind of process and maybe, like, how it failed in the past and what you're kind of trying to do now?
Yeah. So I can't take that much credit because I really jumped in because I'm very excited to see the radio coming back, but a lot of the work has been done by Samantha Walla, who's a sophomore.
Okay.
Sam has really, really, like, taken the charge. I think she's formerly the president of WRCM, and she
what is WRCM?
That's, like, our call sign. So when we were on FM radio, that was, like, you know, our Z100.
Oh,
whatever
like
you
that's
want to call it.
If you're tuning in.
That's, like, the name of the radio station.
Nice.
And we took that from the old station, which we'll talk about in a second. But, yeah, Sam kind of got this together, I think, in the fall. And with the help of Rob Walsh, who works for the school, he works in fundraising or something like that, or advertising. He kind of helped us develop a plan to get it back on track, not this time on FM radio, but over the internet.
Okay.
We had some issues in the past when we used to have an FM radio station, and we kind of got, not to be, you know, kind of crass about it, but we kind of got kicked off the radio.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, there was some issues. I don't really know the details, but there was some mischief going on. And, yeah, the FCC, I guess, is the name of the government agency. They just shut it down. So
really?
So that was kind of, from my understanding, that was the death of the radio.
That's crazy. That would be like the FBI just like crashing into here right now. Like, stop the podcast.
Exactly.
That'd be nuts.
But because it's radio, I guess like there's a certain responsibility and there's certain requirements you have to follow.
Right.
For that,
so you guys were like on the like actual radio, right?
Yep. Yeah.
AM or FM?
I think it was
AM?
FM. I'm
really?
pretty sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
I'm not great with my history, but yeah, the radio has like kind of come and gone. It had kind of come and gone for decades, since like I think the 70s.
Yeah.
That's like the earliest I've heard stories about it recently, but
like the radio station that's actual school.
WRCM
70s, wow.
as it's passed. So the only real difference now is because we can't be on FM, we're going to internet radio. So we'll be streaming everything onto our website. Most of it will be recorded live, I think. Okay. So you'll be hearing what you're listening to just like you would on an FM radio. Which I think actually is going to be exciting because most people aren't, sitting in their car. People don't have a radio in their room anymore.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easier for people to listen on their laptop, on their phone. Yeah. Whatever that might be.
And that's the cool thing about like the internet radio now. You can listen to it wherever you are. Right?
Exactly.
You don't need the radio. And it's also good, like, I don't know, like if you're doing something, you can still like listen and hear a story while you're doing something, which is really cool.
Yeah. And so that's basically the main driving force, is that we're revitalizing it as an internet radio station this time. I think 2 or 3 years ago there was kind of talk about getting this going. Yeah. But it kind of fell apart. So this time it's really exciting to see the momentum we're getting, and a lot of people signed up for shows. I think in the beginning of the year we had like 50 or 60 names on a list for people that wanted to host shows and things.
So yeah, is it going to be like more of a show kind of thing, or is someone going to be playing music? Like that's classic radio?
It's going to be like, you can just sign up for a time slot is the way it worked. I think that's probably overdue now, but people have been signing up. You pitch an idea for a show, so everybody will get a weekly hour, maybe, as an example. And you might, you can have a rock hour and you can stream music, or you can, have a talk show, maybe a relationship advice thing. Okay. I think Scatterbomb might have some kind of comedy show or something like that. So we're hoping to see like a lot of different stuff. But,
that'd be awesome.
I'm sure there's going to be a good mix, just like, you hear on the regular radio.
Yeah. You'll kind of be competing with the podcast there.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that.
No, it's cool.
We won't step on any toes, I promise.
Cool. Yeah, so watch both. Watch both.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of media and everything, we were scrolling through your Instagram a little bit, and we saw some crazy pictures. So if it's cool with you, can we ask you about the pictures?
I've got nothing to hide. All right. Depends on how far back you're going.
Okay, well the first one is pretty far back, but looks like a little throwback.
Oh, what the? Interesting.
You look young Kevin.
Selfie
no
Sunday.
Facial hair.
I honestly hardly remember this. Those don't look like my hands on my face.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. But you have a really pretty elastic face.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if it's that stretchy anymore.
Yeah.
But.
All right, here's another one. Looks like a little family photo.
Oh, yeah, I used this. That's my dad.
Oh, really?
It was a family photo, but that's my dad's face.
On everybody.
Yeah, I used that. I used that. I know.
Killer.
I wish you would bring it back. I used that as an album cover for something my band put out on SoundCloud.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I made it on Snapchat or something. I kind of forgot about that.
That's hilarious. All right, last but not least.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is my Safari outfit from...
Safari.
So there's this band Wolfpack, and they do this... all of their, music videos and stuff on YouTube have the screen, cap or whatever you call it, thumbnail, is a blue background like that, and then, some kind of photoshopped out picture. Yeah. So my friend Tyzo did that. I was in the Sgt. Pepper's class last spring. Okay. And so I was dressed up in some kind of weird garb playing bass.
That's awesome.
And my friend made that for me. So
yeah, I've heard you in the band room. You're quite talented.
Quite loud, I'm sure.
Loud, and talented. But you play a lot of different instruments, right?
Yeah, probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, what do you play?
I play the guitar and the piano and the bass. And I've played the trumpet. That's my
that's what I hear.
Bread and butter. I'm a jazz guy. I mean,
those are the main
other
ones.
things. I play some other brass instruments that are boring and stuff like that, like French horn.
If you had to pick like one instrument that you could play, what would it be? Like if someone says play something for me.
Oh, if someone says play something for me.
Like what are you going to jump on
guitar,
first?
piano.
Guitar? Yeah.
It's the most accessible, I think.
And then what's your like favorite to play?
Definitely the bass.
Yeah.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass, baby.
Absolutely.
And you're in jazz band, right?
Yeah.
How's that
in the
going?
Jazz band. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We're pretty good this year, and we've progressively had more people come in
awesome.
More talented people come in. But we also have a small jazz group that does gigs off campus and stuff like that. And I kind of started running that a few years ago and being really involved in booking gigs.
So you're the one booking all the gigs?
Yeah.
Oh,
so we have a director, Jeff Mattoon, who kind of helps us out and sometimes sits in with us, but I'm mostly the contact person for stuff.
That's awesome.
It'll go through Andy Bauer, who's the head of performing arts,
right.
A lot of the times if it's something on campus, but I've also booked us stuff off campus with like alumni and stuff like that. We've done some weddings.
That's great.
So
do you guys am I allowed to ask, do you guys get paid?
Yeah, we do.
That's great.
We do. That's a big incentive there. And it's one of the really few student performance activities where you get the opportunity to make some money.
Yeah, it's really cool too doing like a small group because you're like pretty like close knit and everyone has like a chance to like kind of like noodle and solo and stuff like that.
It's all about like improvisation again.
Right.
So
in
it's not
that
just in comedy. It's
right. It does it in everything.
Yeah.
So you play trumpet in
yeah, I play trumpet. Sometimes I'll play bass or keys.
Nice. That's
have
awesome.
to.
What would be your dream job?
Oof, that's a good one. I don't know. Probably like working at running a music venue or something like that. If money wasn't an issue or anything.
Yeah.
I'm looking into like editorial positions, publishing, stuff like that.
That's cool.
That's my big.
If you had to take like one of your hobbies now, like improv, comedy, music, or radio, like if you could do one of those, which would it be?
Probably music and radio, like a little overlap there.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. All right, well, you want to plug like the radio? If you got any social media, Instagrams or anything like that?
I think our Instagram is WRCM Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Look out, we should be starting streaming in early February, and our groundbreaking is going to be March 13th for our new studio. Scatterbomb, I think, is just our Instagram, and that's pretty much it.
And when do you guys have shows for Scatterbomb?
They usually work out to be every other Friday night at 8 p.m. in Hayden 100 on campus.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, check it out. It's a really good time.
Thanks, man.
All right, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's a great time.
All right, that's a wrap.
All right.
Awesome. Cut.